Islamic State militants' recent beheading of another Western aid worker is a bleak reminder of the dangers facing people working in conflict areas. And it's not just humanitarians who are being targeted. Militants have kidnapped and beheaded journalists as well.
Responding to this reality is an innovative program in Washington that zeroes in on these risks and teaches journalists and others working in danger zones how to reduce those risks. VOA's Julie Taboh went to check it out and tells all to On Assignment's Philip Alexiou. Take a look.
This is James Wright Foley.
In August, American journalist James Foley was brutally executed by the Islamic jihadist group ISIS. Ellen Shearer knew James Foley. Foley was Shearer's student at a course she teaches at the Dill School of Journalism on covering conflict, terrorism, and national security. The 11-week course in Washington is designed to help journalism graduates prepare for assignments in hostile environments.
How involved is this training course?
It's a pretty intense course. A lot of classroom instruction that goes over the culture of the U.S. military. They go over State Department, but also it's about security as well. It's also about training.
How do I know that something is suspicious?
Another important component of the curriculum is a hostile environment training workshop.
What was it like for you covering that? Did it feel intense, or what did you get out of it?
It was intense.
Okay.
They don't tell you exactly what's going to happen. So we had that surprise element as well as the students. So there's about 10 students who were in the class. And after the first aid training, after the self-defense training, and a certain amount of preparation that something is coming to put you to the test.
A bomb goes off. Bullets fly and field reporters scramble for cover, but they must also tend to the injured.
And then they realize, oh my goodness, half of their comrades have been wounded.
What are you going to do with these casualties here?
And these are, of course, professional actors who are pretending to be wounded. They have a knife coming out of their arm, bullet wounds, gaping hole in their side. And all these students who've just newly learned how to deal with this have to attend to those who've been injured.
They do teach journalists what to do when they're kidnapped.
Workshop organizer Frank Smythe speaks from experience.
Myself and another colleague ended up spending 18 days in captivity under Saddam Hussein's regime. So that was something that was an experience that took me a long time to get over, but I realized there are things that people need to learn before they go into these kinds of environments.
So if you're there, for example, to report a story, if they were to take 5 of you and isolate you, you better make sure you're all saying the same thing, right? So if you're there to do a story, all of you are going to say, we're here to do a story. And I think doing things like, if you're blindfolded, trying to write down or sort of have any kind of evidence that you're tracking where you're going or things like that. They said, no, do it all in your head. You don't want anything written down because that may be used against you. So simple, small things like that.
While the conflicts class did not save James Foley, Shearer hopes it will save other reporters who are risking their lives to share their stories with the world.
More than 40 journalists have been killed on the job this year around the world, 10 in Syria. The Committee to Protect Journalists, which reports the figures, says last year the toll was at least 70 journalists, 29 in Syria and 10 in Iraq.